I wrote this song a number of years ago after hearing John being interviewed on the radio, and I just thought it was such a wonderful story about these women that were making guitars at the Gibson factory.
So Wednesday, January 29th, we had a fundraising event for Sounds of the Zoo Music Festival, and we were honoring Irene Stern's Day, which is a woman that worked at the Gibson factory, which we call the Kalamazoo Gals, and she worked there from 1942 to 1945 with other women in Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo Gals were the name I gave to the women who built Gibson's guitars during World War II. They stepped into the factory in January 1942, and when they stepped into the factory, the #1 song in the hit parade in the U.S. was Glenn Miller's version of I've Got a Gal at Kalamazoo. So I got a book title.
Sweet Irene was your average teen. She grew up in Kalamazoo. She was looking for a job during World War II. Times were tough, so there were few. Well, then one day she got a call from the Gibson company. Gave her a job making single strings in the guitar factory.
During the war, Gibson claimed not to make any musical instruments. The historian, Gibson's historian, who wrote up the history shortly after the war, he was the personnel director during the war. So he hired all those women. And he wrote that they didn't build any musical instruments during the war. I found out that Gibson built almost 25,000 instruments during the war. So an extraordinary cover-up. And the Gibson CEO represented to the public that all the instruments they were selling, they had been built by men before the war and had been stockpiled. And then when the boys come home, they would build some more, but in the meantime they were selling this stockpile of musical instruments.
I was really moved when I learned about Irene and the other woman who were working in this factory. And none of them had training, but they were working, building guitars, winding strings, and I just think it's very interesting as a musician. So yeah, it just really resonated with me.
I came across a photograph of about 70 women standing in front of the Gibson factory. It's this mysterious photo of all these women in front of a guitar factory. What are they doing? Well, turns out they were building guitars under cover of secret. So I think for Kalamazoo, it's a chance to embrace not only history, but a continuing presence in culture. For a small town, I can't think of a community that has greater arts presence. But by the same token, Kalamazoo has the same challenges of all small-scale or even large-scale urban environments. Right? You get economic injustice, you got challenges when manufacturing leaves. And I think one thing we really need today is a celebration of what has been good and what can lead to more goodness and more beauty. So I think it's a chance to learn about these incredible women, but also to embrace the history of your remarkable community.
I think that our community has a very rich history, and there's a lot of stories like this one. This one is a great story.
It's really important to come out and support local. We can't ever stop negating the idea of what it's like to feel it in live, person to person.
Nobody makes them like those Kalamazoo guys.